I'm so impact over income. Every Friday became a good month.
Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon. We're going to get started in a few moments, just giving people time to jump on the live.
Bitcoin, Ethereum, crypto. My influence beneficial. Now my residuals triple.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. I won't be on here long. Do me a favor, share the feed, tag somebody. Just pulling up a few things here. Let me go ahead and stop my music. I don't own the rights to this music. Just want to put that disclaimer out there. Alright, here we go. Alright. So I am cutting this down. Hey everybody, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are and when you're watching this live. My name's Camille Westmoreland for those who, don't know me, right? And so I wanted to jump on here because I was having a conversation with some of my team members, and we were kind of talking about our goals, and we were talking about things that we need to do to accomplish our goals. And if you watch my live from yesterday morning, I talked about how to stay focused on your goals, like how to not get distracted and so forth. And so I wanted to take it a step further because just in some conversations that I had with some of my business partners, we were just talking about the whole idea of being comfortable. And a lot of times we run into situations to where we're comfortable, and if I'm comfortable, that's just what it is. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm comfortable, and you just have to take it or leave it. But the reality is, and I took some notes because I wanted to make sure, I was like, this is such a good conversation. I want to make sure I don't leave anything off. But one of the first things that I wrote down, and it spoke to me first because I've had different seasons in my life where I was comfortable, but then when I really looked at it, it was like being in a comfortable position was not helping me grow, right? And so one of the things that I wrote down is that being comfortable isn't the way to learn and expand your abilities. And that really spoke to me because the reality is we were created to learn. We were created to innovate. We were created to be greater than ourselves the day before. But a lot of times people go through the learning that we're forced to go through, meaning going to school, through high school, maybe going to college and so forth. But then we feel like after that point, I've done all that I'm supposed to do. I've completed my learning. And at this particular point in my life right now, it is literally just about living my life. So then what happens with that, you get comfortable in this daily cycle, but even being comfortable in that daily cycle, you're still unfulfilled. And so many people are kind of like, I don't know why I'm unfulfilled. But the reason why you're unfulfilled is because it's more that you're called to do, but because you're comfortable, you don't pursue those things that you're called to do. And the reality where that is concerned is that comfort is a stance of avoiding rather than pursuing the excellence that you're called to. Because the reality is all of us are called to excellence. All of us are called to greater heights. But the reality is everybody won't answer the call. And not answering the call. And this is to me first, you guys, this was revelation I had to get, because even with all the things that I'm having the opportunity to experience at this point, I would have never experienced those things if I would not have gotten out of my comfort zone. Anybody that knows me personally knows that I'm like a real laid back, semi-introvert. I consider myself an outgoing introvert, which means that if there's something I need to do, I will rise to the occasion to accomplish the goal. Whether it's talk to 100 people, sit in a room and train people, I'll do that. But as soon as that period is over, I retreat. And it's like I need a breather from people. And so at one particular point in my life, I was just like, I had my circle, I had my squad. Those are the only people that matter. I didn't want to talk to nobody else. And I was good with life. But as I kept looking at it, it was just like, but I desire more for my life. I desire more wealth. I desire to be able to do more for my family. I desire to have more nicer things that I desire to have. I desire to be a blessing to my local ministry and to my community. And so in order for me to accomplish those goals, this outgoing introvert thing, excuse that I made up, right, was keeping me from those things. So I really challenge you to ask yourself, what are those things that you're comfortable with now that you know is not yielding the results that you desire? And as you think about that thing, take this to heart. You know, you have to get comfortable outside of your comfort zone. That's what had to happen for me. I had to get comfortable being uncomfortable, because a lot of things, like if you notice, I recently just started doing lives. Why? Because it was outside of my comfort zone. But there was so much more I know that is on the inside of me that can affect and impact so many people. And the reality was I was just being selfish. Many times we don't move on things because it's selfish, because we're thinking about us. Not selfish like you don't want to share information or give to someone, but you're thinking about how do you feel versus what you were called to do to affect the masses of people that you're connected to, right? And so I really just want to challenge everybody listening in, like, write those things down. What are the excuses? And I'm going to just say what it is. Excuses that you give for not pursuing those things that you desire. Because the reality is you're comfortable, but you may not be fulfilled. You may not be fully happy, but things are okay. And to be real transparent, at one point in my life, I was comfortable just working a job. I'm like, my bills paid, my lights are on, I got food, and I'm good. But the reality was, it really wasn't enough for me, because I wanted to do stuff beyond pay bills. None of us were created to work, pay bills, and die. And that is the reality. And so if that's your reality right now, where you feel like all I'm doing is working to pay bills, I have no extra to do anything else, you're comfortable. Now it's time for you to position yourself to be uncomfortable. And I don't know what that looks like for you. But the reality is you need to seek out what that thing is that you need to position yourself in discomfort. Remember, get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? Discomfort leads to success. That's what I put in my heading of this live. You know, every time you're uncomfortable, it provokes growth. When you're comfortable, you're not learning, you're not thinking, you're not evolving, you're just existing. But as soon as things get uncomfortable, it positions you, okay? As soon as things get uncomfortable, it positions you for growth, because now it's shaking things up, and the level of comfort you have will not suffice in this season of discomfort, okay? And so you have to really look at that thing. And so some of you all that are tuning in, there are some things that you feel like are tugging at you that you should be doing, but because it's unfamiliar or it's going to put you in an uncomfortable position, you don't pursue that thing. But the reality is, it's opportune time for you to pursue it. I tell my accountability partner, Marquita, and I talk to my money mentor, Dr. Jewel, a lot. And it's certain times of the year or certain things happen, and I'll talk to them and I'm like, y'all, I'm comfortable. I straight say, y'all, I'm comfortable. I need to think of something else to do. I need to think of something else to add. Why? Because I know, and I talked about this yesterday, what my goals are, what my visions are, what are the things that I want to accomplish. And of course, that thing stair steps. But the thing about it is you have to be so sharp and you have to stay on it to know, okay, I'm moving too slow. I'm too comfortable. Next thing. And literally a week or two ago, I told him, y'all, I'm too comfortable. It's time for me to shift again. So what did I do? I went and made some adjustments that made me uncomfortable, which pushes me to evolve and grow even more. And that's the mindset that you have to have. Every time you get to a point of comfort, it's like, no, I need to add something else. No, I need to do something else. Because remember, we're called to dominate on the earth. We're called to do stuff bigger than ourselves. Until we're in a position to where we can bless other people as much as we're able to be a blessing to ourselves, we have not arrived yet. But many people feel like once they get to the point that their bills are paid and they got a little extra movie money and this and that, that's it. But nah, you got to stretch further. At the end of the day, you have to keep moving. And so I'm in a season of stretch right now because why? I love stretch seasons because I know that I'm going to go to a greater level. Because when I get to the point where I'm so comfortable to where I can sit and watch Netflix for hours upon hours, I ain't doing enough. And these are real conversations that you have to have. We over here watching TV. And don't get me wrong, I watch Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, all of that. But I was at a point in my life where I was watching the visions of other people come to pass, and they making money off me watching their stuff. And I'm not even doing anything to produce income for myself. I'm not even doing anything to grow myself and grow my legacy. So it was like, okay, Camille, you got to shift this thing. You comfortable, your bills paid, so you feel like you could lay around the house for like 10 hours just watching Netflix and do nothing. No, that is not the plan. That is not what is supposed to be happening. You see what I'm saying? So this is when you have to have those real conversations with yourself. And if you're like me, where, you live, you on your own doing your thing and you're not really accountable to anybody, I'm accountable to people, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's some of y'all listening that might have, families and kids and stuff. So you're accountable to them because you got to make sure that they are taken care of. But when it's just you and your dog, you know what I'm saying? You can kind of get away with stuff. You ain't got a whole bunch of expenses and bills and you just living your life. And then next thing you know, because you don't put a demand on yourself to continue to produce, to continue to learn, to continue to evolve, you then find yourself in a level of comfort. And then a year, 2 or 3 years later, you're looking and you're in the same spot and you're disappointed. And so I was determined that I didn't want to be that person. I was determined to surround myself with people who are thrusters. So ask yourself, who are you surrounded around? The people that I'm surrounded around don't let me stay comfortable. I don't let them stay comfortable. Anybody that's around me that like to be comfortable, don't stay around me long. Because I can't hang with people on a consistent basis who are not pushing like me. Like, I don't hang with people that tell me I'm doing too much. Just because you work a 9 to 5, I'm not, finna just, when you get off, just sit there and watch TV from 5 to 10. No, we got legacy to build. So who you're surrounded by matters. Who you're connected to matters at the end of the day, because you want to make sure that you position yourself for greatness, that you position yourself for growth, because you desire more, but you're afraid to move because it's uncomfortable. You're afraid to move because it's unfamiliar. Then all of a sudden, every time you decide that you want to make a move, there's some resistance. You hit a wall. But the reality is you're called to break through the wall. Why? Because the reality is there is a harvest for you on the other side of the resistance. But everybody will not see the harvest because they're not willing to push through the resistance. So what is the resistance? The resistance is all the excuses. I can't commit to this or do this because I have XYZ happening. I had a long day and I just want to go to sleep. Oh, I want to go watch this show. Oh, whatever your excuse that you make up. But I had to even start asking myself, and you have to ask yourself, the things that take your time, are they producing for your legacy? Because a lot of times the excuses are the reasons why we give that we don't move in position and do certain things is deeper than comfort. It's just, I don't even want to say fear. I can't even get past comfort. That's really what it is. You're comfortable. This has been your routine. You don't want to break your routine. But the reality is that routine is not paying you. The routine is not paying you. And no, it's not about money all the time, but money answers all things, Money provides the freedom that you desire. So for me, when I am prioritizing things, first of all, Jesus is always going to be first. So my Sundays, my Wednesdays, my Bible studies, all that stuff is first. Anything else I do is around that time, right? So let's just knock that one out. Church, ministry, Jesus, all that is covered. But then after Jesus, right, and I have things on my plate, I'm looking to see which one is going to produce so that I can accomplish the things on the earth that I desire. You know, I do like to have girl nights and I do all that stuff, but I'm not the chick that is doing like girl nights every weekend or this or that, because I have a greater plan and a vision for my life and the people that are connected to me. So I had to really get uncomfortable because I could comfortably lay in my bed and watch TV all day, every day, literally. But I would just live a normal, mediocre life where I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Well, I'm a business owner, so it ain't a real check. If I don't show up or if I don't have systems, I don't make money. But even in that, you have to position yourself outside of your comfort zone so you continue to evolve and grow. Like I said, one of the things that I wrote down, it says, if you get too comfortable with who you are at any given time, you may miss the opportunity to become who you want to be. And that was really a gut punch because like the person that I am today is not the person that I was 9 years ago. It's not even the person I was a year ago or even 2 years ago, right? I had to stay uncomfortable so I could continue to grow. And as I just mentioned, I'm uncomfortable now. So I want you to just look within yourself and ask yourself, are you uncomfortable? If the answer is no, I'm not uncomfortable, everything is good right now, you need to be doing something else. You need to go to the drawing board. What else are you supposed to be doing? Because if you're comfortable, that means you've capped your learning. You're not evolving at this point. You are now officially stagnant. And that's just real talk. You're at a stagnant place if you're comfortable. And when you're at a stagnant place, what does that mean? It's no growth spiritually, it's no growth financially, it's no growth socially, it's no growth. So I just wanted to jump on here briefly for a few moments to kind of just talk about that, because success comes outside of your comfort zone. Period. At the end of the day, all the success that I'm experiencing, all the growth I'm experiencing did not manifest until I got uncomfortable. And then once I got the hang of it, it was like, man, I got the hang of it. Because have you ever done that? You start a new job and you just got the hang of it. And it's like clockwork. Boom, 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 boom. I'm finishing. But then they add something else to your plate because they like, man, you done got that. You comfortable with that. Now we got to add something else for you to continue to evolve and grow. So you have to do that in your personal life as well. If you're a parent, you probably got a solid schedule. Like, okay, the kids get up at this time. I cook breakfast. They eat, get dressed, go to school. I work out. I do da-da-da-da. So you have a routine that's comfortable, right? Because you've mastered that thing. But now beyond mastering that thing, what are you doing to evolve and develop yourself individually? What are those things that you're adding into your flow to, cause a little disruption, but it's provoking growth and change so that you and your whole family can go to the next level? You see what I'm saying? So even with that, wherever you are in this particular season of your life, I definitely challenge you. Find a way to position yourself to be uncomfortable. Find a way to position yourself to stay uncomfortable. Find a way to position yourself for change and growth and evolution in your life. Because as long as you position yourself to be uncomfortable, you will continue to grow. You'll continue to develop. You'll continue to evolve. The person that you desire to be will be able to go from that caterpillar to that beautiful flower. You see what I'm saying? Because if you think about it like this, think about that caterpillar. They're going to be seasoned. That caterpillar is just roaming around. It's comfortable, right? But then what happens is when it gets into that cocoon, and think about this with your life. It's uncomfortable being wrapped up like that, right? So it's uncomfortable, but in that discomfort, right, where that caterpillar may feel suffocated, like they can't move, like what did I get myself into? In that discomfort, it then eventually evolves and grows into like a beautiful butterfly. So that's like the perfect analogy for each of us. Being that caterpillar is being comfortable. Entering that cocoon is that discomfort. But in that discomfort, it is positioning us for growth and elevation, change, and transformation in our lives. So I just wanted to get on here and just, share that with you and challenge you all. Position yourselves in a posture of discomfort. I'm excited to see the butterflies that you all will become, the development, the evolution that will come through, you positioning yourself that way. For not just for you, but for your family and every person connected to you. Many people are dependent on you. Many people are waiting on you. Many people are waiting on you to become uncomfortable. Because in your discomfort, it will bring change to the people that you're connected to. So we're right here, a little over 20 minutes. I did not want to stay on here long, but I just wanted to, jump on here, share. And I'll probably be back on here tomorrow and talk about something else. I always have something to talk about. And, if y'all have questions or things that, you want to hear my opinion on, I'm open. But at the end of the day, for me, it's about impact. What can I share or what can I say that can help change or catapult someone's life? It's just opportune time and season for us to be positioned for greatness. And now it's just time for us to take the first step. Remembering I said it yesterday, God does not, you don't need an anointing for what you could do on your own. So quit trying to figure it out and being Superman and Superwoman. You just take the first step and allow Holy Spirit to put his super on your natural. You take the first step in that area that you're believing in, and even though it's uncomfortable, and watch how you come out thriving. So you guys make that step, position yourself to be uncomfortable. That's really all that I got. I'm like, is there something else I'm supposed to say, Lord? But no, just position yourself to be uncomfortable, because in that discomfort is going to yield a beautiful butterfly, as I said. So thank you all for, tuning in and hanging out with me. I'll probably be on this live again tomorrow talking about something else. And I will see you all later. Have a good day. God bless.